Hi everyone, this is Andrew again. I hope you're having a great day and I hope you're ready for another podcast. So today I'm going to speak to you about something that is very helpful for learning a language like English. And that is something called independent studies. Now, independent is a word that means you are not dependent on anything, and to be dependent means you need it. Like, you are not relying on anybody else if you are independent. And independent studies means to study by yourself. And this is actually a very good way to learn. It is one of my favorite ways to learn languages because I can learn and I can study the way that I want to study. When you take lessons in a large classroom, you have to learn like everyone else. Like, it is like being cattle through a chute. I used to be a cowboy, and when we worked with the cattle, I would not take each individual cow how they wanted to move. They all had to move in one herd, in one direction. And that is how, honestly, a lot of languages studies happen in school. Like, I learned Spanish in school in a class, and when I say learned, I mean learned. And when people do this, that means not really. I studied Spanish in a large group and had no idea what I was doing. So I learned through independent studies. I studied Spanish for a couple of years, and then I went to Guatemala and I studied even more independently on my own, and I spoke very good Spanish while I was there. So that is one of the things about independent studies. You are not being put through like you are part of the herd. You are able to do it on your own. And that is like what we are doing in the online academy. We are studying individually. So this is like a good halfway point between independent studies and in a class, because you are able to learn with a teacher one-on-one, and we are able to work with you on things you want to work on, and different things like that. So that is a big bonus to working in the online academy. We are able to help you the way you need to be helped. Now, many people do not have that in America, and that is why independent studies is such a key thing in America. Like, that is how I study all my languages, through independent studies. I wish I had had a class where I could speak with a teacher like this. I would have learned the languages much faster, to be completely honest. But yeah, and independent studies is not only for languages. You can also do this for things like art, or history, or math. Now, history is a very fun thing to study independently, because you can study whatever you want to learn. Like, I love studying history because I never had to study what I did not want to study. That is something I was allowed to do at school, which was very different but very interesting. And so I developed a love for studying history. It was something I enjoyed. And I would study Greece. I would study the life in India. I would study the samurai in Japan. I would study castles and kings. Anything that I was very interested in, I would study and I would eat up. Now, when we say eat up, we are not actually eating. It is a way that we say something is very, like, we are taking it in a lot at one time. We are eating it up. And that is how I studied history. I would eat it up. And you can do that with art, with science, with anything. And independent studies is different because it is all reliant on you. You are not dependent on anyone else. But that also means that if you do not have the drive and energy, you do not learn. So that is one of the downsides to independent studies. So if you do independent studies, you need to make sure you have a drive and a push to learn and study what you are researching. So yeah, so those are a few points about independent studies. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the podcast, and I hope you enjoy studying today soon.